Hi everybody, welcome to week 8, the last week of the course. So this week we are starting to get into calculus concepts where we are going to be talking about limits. So I've got the iconic quote from Mean Girls, "The limit does not exist," of course. So this week's material is actually not coming from the textbook. So this is coming exclusively from videos and links that are available in the weekly content. And you're going to be learning what a limit is, how to determine limits of polynomials, and then determine limits of rational functions. And to help you with this, I'm going to be doing a live session, Thursday, October 3rd at 7 p.m. So I will be talking about what a limit is at that time. So this week, you've got a lot going on. So you've got the discussion, the self-assessment, the application assignment, the journal, and your final exam. So there's a lot going on. So you want to make sure that you plan accordingly. And in addition to the discussion, we do have your end of course survey, and then there's a second discussion to kind of reflect on that as well. But the main discussion 1, that is the graded discussion. So for your graded discussion this week, you need to research the subject of calculus and share with us at least one application of calculus in a field such as physics, business. Definitely there are tons of engineering applications of calculus. You should cite at least one source of information. So I am going to be looking for an explanation and summary of the application of calculus, references. I'm checking for plagiarism. So there's no plagiarism. I do not want to see any direct quotes. This should be in your own words. The purpose of the discussion is to demonstrate what you learned, and you cannot demonstrate your understanding if you have not explained anything. If all you do is find a website, copy, paste, even if it's cited properly, you are not demonstrating your understanding, and so I can't evaluate your understanding. Plagiarism is very important. I've been talking about this for the past 2 weeks. It's very important not to plagiarize. If you have too much of your discussion as quotes, even if you cite it properly, you're still plagiarizing because it's not your work anymore. It's somebody else's work if the majority is nothing coming from you. So make sure you summarize what you have learned, explain it in your words. There ideally should be no quotes. The best way to do this is to write your discussion when you are not looking at your websites. Turn off the computer, write it by hand first, take notes, whatever you need to do. Okay, so for your assignments, your week 8 assignment is 5 questions again. So make sure you are showing all of your steps. You are explaining everything. Don't just give me numbers. You need to explain what these things mean and what you are doing. Especially if there are multiple methods, you need to explain what your thinking is as you're going through these. You've got your reflection journal, which there is a minimum word count, 250 words. I'm checking that. It should be about your application assignment. It's not just a reflection on anything you want. It should be about your problem solving. So make sure you are using the questions that are in the assignment directions. So you've got your self-assessment and final exam. So this is like the week 4 where you had both. So the self-assessment is covering week 8 material. So there's 10 questions, 4 attempts, the highest score is saved. The final exam, I know this is a little small, I had to try to fit everything in. It is 20 questions. You have 1 attempt. It's covering weeks 4 through 7. So note that week 8 is not on the final exam. That's why it's on the self-assessment. So it's covering sequences, sums of series, combinations of permutations, probability, arc length, reference angles, area of a sector, solving trig equations, right triangle trigonometry, converting degrees to radians, distance of a point from a line, the standard form of parabola, ellipse, and hyperbola, and then the angle between lines. So those are the things that you should be focusing on. That was the stuff that was weeks 4 through 7. And now some really important end of course information. So this course ends October 8th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So as soon as that time hits, you'd lose all access. So if you're in the middle of doing something, you may not be able to submit it. So you need to make sure you have everything. You've given yourself enough time to submit your work. You also want to make sure that you know what time that is in your time zone. If you're in Eastern, you're an hour and ahead. So that would be 12:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So you want to make sure that you have the right time zone and you've done all the math with that. No work is accepted once the course is closed. So this includes anything emailed. I do not accept work via email. It needs to be submitted in Blackboard. So if you submit anything after the course is closed and it's not in Blackboard, I will not accept it. Final grades are submitted by Friday. I will not be emailing out your final grade. You will need to wait until everything's graded and then check back after Friday to see what your grade is for the end of the course. Incompletes begin October 14th, and those go on for 2 weeks. So to qualify for an incomplete, you need to have completed at least 50% of the coursework and have extenuating circumstances. Your request for an incomplete must include proper documentation and then a list of your missing work and a schedule for completing each task. That will make sure that you have planned out what you are going to do for your incomplete during the incomplete term. And this is especially important because we do not have a break week in between this term and the next. Your next term starts the very next day after this course ends. So it starts October 9th. That means preview week starts tomorrow and you're in week 8. So it's really important starting today, starting at the beginning of the course to make sure you have access to your textbook in your new class and getting through that while you're also finishing up this one. So remember, there's no break week. You are going straight into your next course, and so plan accordingly. If you have any questions, you can email me, you can give me a call. I've had a great time interacting with you guys in the discussions and doing these live sessions. Hopefully you have found them helpful. I look forward to interacting with you guys finishing up this week. Make sure, and in my discussion I did post with some tips for calculus, since you guys will all be going on to calculus, so you know what to expect. And I'm sure you guys are going to do fine this week, just as long as you manage your time. And it's been fun. So I will see you guys in the discussion forums. Bye.